Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're here with me. Or am I here with you? I'm not sure which it is, but whatever it is, I'm so glad that we're together. So we have Mr. Derek and Fiona with us. We have Josh, who's here in person running our live stream. We have Eli and Piper. So good to see both of you yesterday in person, even though we were so far apart from each other. It was just nice to see you in 3D. Mrs. Cross is with us, and so is Becky Baccalucci. Of course, I'm here. Quinn, great to have you with us today. I'm telling you, this 6-day-a-week thing, Quinn, I'm loving it. So cool. Sawyer's here. Becca and Alyssa. I got to see them from afar yesterday. Mrs. Collins is here in the chat. We've got Noah and Ben. Hey, Noah and Ben. I know you probably weren't a part of it, but I'm going to tell you. Your family sent us our first Christmas card of the season. You were first, as Vicar Jason would say. And then we've got Luke and Anna, and it's just so good to have all of you here with us today. Yay! What a great day. Oh, wonderful. Haley and Gavin. I was just going to say, I feel like I should leave the name tags out a little bit longer, just in case some more people come. So glad you're with us. That's awesome. Oh, Mason's here as well. Yay, Mason. Glad you're here. We'll just leave these other names out just in case. Fingers crossed that they come. So I'm looking at our hill with all of our names on there. And you might remember Mrs. Cross had this hill our very first week that we started talking about the Sermon on the Mount. The Sermon on the Mount is one of Jesus's most famous, we could say, sermons. And it was called the Sermon on the Mount because he went up on this great big hill, mount, short for mountain. Ooh, Austin's here too. I'm going to add you while I'm talking, Austin. And he stood up there and he talked to so many people and said so many wonderful things. Well, we have sticky notes up here to show what all of our lessons about this have been so far. So when Mrs. Cross was here, she talked about sadness, and so I put a new sticky note up here with a sad face. Before, she had them on all of your names, but since I had to make some new names, I moved it up here. I hope that's okay with all of you. Last week, we talked about being the light of the world and the salt of the earth. And the coolest thing was, after I finished talking with all of you, I walked down the hallway that way towards the sanctuary. So past the offices where Pastor and Sue and all of them are. And there's this poster, black and white, big black poster, with a white drawing of a light bulb and a white drawing of a salt shaker with the Bible verse on it that we learned about last week. How cool is that? Anyway, we have our light bulb from last week, and you know, I just added something extra. I added that little heart that we did the craft with where we could see through Jesus' love, seeing through us. And now this week, our sticky note is not as lovely as this one. It's not as happy. Look. That is an angry face. You know, anger is a feeling that we do have sometimes. But God can help us to calm our anger when we have it. And that is something that we are going to be learning about today. So to start off, I would like to know from you, where are some places that help you feel calm? Is there a place in your house that calms you down? Is there a place that you've gone on vacation that calms you down? Some people say that going to the beach is very calming for them. So I'm wondering that about you. Where do you find yourself calming down? You know, I was thinking about this myself during the week, and there is a place called the Chautauqua Institution, obviously in Chautauqua, and it's a very calming, quiet, restful place. Although there's so many fun things that are loud and fast there too, but that is a place that calms me down. Alyssa says her bedroom. Totally get that, Alyssa. Oh, my bed and Florida. Very cool. Anna feels calm in her room with a book. Nice. Piper says somewhere where she can cuddle mom. Excellent. I like how sometimes it's not just a place, it's also the action or the activity, like having a book. Because I'm guessing you're not just cuddling the book, I'm guessing that you're reading it. And I like how Piper was saying, being with mom and having that action of cuddling. Quinn says in the Adirondacks, camping and cuddling on the couch with mom. So you're a lot like Piper there, Quinn. And camping, when I'm in the woods or around trees, totally relaxes me. Austin says downstairs in the playroom. Paris says sometimes he goes to the park to think. Paris, I don't know if I read your name, but I've got you up here too. And it's so nice to have you in the chat. Mrs. Cross says the beach. You're a beach person, like I was saying, Mrs. Cross. So cool. Noah says home calms him down. Ben says his bed calms him down. Gavin says Florida. Haley says the bed in Florida. It's all good. I knew it was Haley. Luke says, oh, by the pellet stove when the fire is going. Oh, yeah, with the heat and the way the flames look. Oh my gosh, that's got to be awesome. I love that idea. I want to try that now. Oh, Sawyer says my cousin's house. Fiona says her bedroom. Becca says on the couch. Mason says his bedroom. And Sawyer, yeah, my cousin's house. Yeah. Awesome. Well, it is really good to know that there are places that can help us to feel calm when we're angry. And there are also things that God can do to help us calm our anger. We are not on our own. We don't have to just think about finding a place to calm us down. Oh, Sawyer also says his bed. So I'm not sure if our stream is still working. We have a circle thing going. Hang on one second, guys. We're checking. We good? Oh, the Christs say they still see us, so that's good. Okay, so we'll keep going. So we don't have to worry about calming down on our own. It's great to have that place or those things that help us, but God can help us too. And Jesus talked about how you can calm down and what to do with your anger during the Sermon on the Mount. And we're going to be learning about that today. But first, we're going to do our song. Our song is called No Matter How I Feel, and it's a great one for today. So here it comes.
Yeah. My mind is spinning, I'm all confused. I'm feeling sad and afraid, and kind of angry too. How can I be strong when everything is going
Loved the song. Loved it. I hope you were dancing or at least bebopping along a little bit. Maybe some chair dancing. So, today we're going to see what Jesus said in the Sermon on the Mount about how God helps us calm our anger. A lot of times when we're feeling mad, we say some pretty unkind or angry or hurtful things to other people. So I want you to get out your paper and what you're going to be writing with. And I want you to think of some things that maybe, unfortunately, you've said when you were angry or someone else has said. Now, we're not saying who has said them, you or someone else, but can you think of some things that just weren't very nice that have been said in anger? I'm thinking of one I hear at school. You can put it in the chat. Not this, but you can put your ideas in the chat. I'm not your friend anymore. Yeah, I've heard kids say that when they're angry. Well, I'm not your friend anymore. And as you're thinking, we can also put it right on our papers. You're going to want at least one unkind thing on here on your paper. So I've heard, I'm not your friend anymore. I've also heard someone being called a tattletale. Oh, go away. I'm putting those in capital letters. Yes. Go away. Ooh, shut up. That's mine. Great idea, Haley. Instead of sharing, that's mine. You're mean. Oh, two of you said the same thing. Both of you said you're mean. Sawyer and I think, well, it's either Ben or Noah. Oh my gosh. Bully. Maybe you called someone a bully or someone was called a bully and they weren't really acting that way. It was just a name. Names are definitely something that we sometimes call people when we're angry. Yeah. Let's wait a second, see if we have any others. Oh, you're being rude. Thanks, Quinn. Hey, that's mine. Yep, I'm going to add a hey to this one. Hey, that's mine. Oh, you can't do that. All right, I'm going to stop there because my paper is full. Choose something that you can write on your paper. It could be very simple, like go away, which, you know, even when you want someone to go away, it's not the nicest way to say it. Ooh, you're sassy. All right. So, oh, exclamation point. Of course, Becca. So, finish what you're writing. And then we're going to take our paper. And I'd like you to crumple it up into a ball. You ready? Ready, set, go. All right. So those angry words that are spoken can really hurt people, and I want to show you what I mean. Take that paper with the angry words on it and flatten it out now. Paris, yes, sometimes people do say things that are rude. Absolutely. All right, flatten out your paper. Come on, like really flatten it out. Come on, flatten it out. What? Do you still have wrinkles in your paper? Can't you get that any flatter? Ooh, loser. That does sometimes happen. Yeah, that's a name. You can't get your paper all flat? Are you telling me that those wrinkles can't go away? Oh. This paper will never be quite the same as it was when we started. There's my flat paper. There's my crumpled paper. Here's my paper with all nice things, or waiting for nice things. Here are the unkind things. Yeah, it's never going to be quite the same. Those angry words that we wrote down were a big deal. And they really do stick with a person or stay with a person. You know, sometimes we think that angry words are okay, just as long as they don't hurt a person on the outside, it's okay. But you know what? That can really hurt a person on the inside. So let's read what Jesus had to say about that. So I'm turning in my Bible to Matthew chapter 5, and I'm going to start by reading verses 21 and 22. And it even has the heading above it that says, teaching about anger. So this is what Jesus had to say about that during his Sermon on the Mount. You have heard that our ancestors were told, you must not murder. If you commit murder, you are subject to judgment. That's like punishment. But I say, if you are even angry with someone, you are subject to judgment. If you call someone an idiot, yeah, that word's right here in the Bible. It surprised me too. Then you are in danger of being brought before the court. And if you curse someone, you are in danger of the fires of hell. Whoa! Just for saying something unkind? Wow. It made me think, like, how can angry words be as serious as murder? Oop, we're not working. Should I pause for a minute? I'll pause and we'll see. The Christs say it's working. And it's working for the Pulvers. So I'm going to keep going. Okay. So this was saying that angry words were like murder. And I certainly wouldn't think that. But the truth is, even though words cannot physically hurt a person, it can really hurt them on the inside. Anger is a feeling that we all have sometimes. But we have a choice about how to act when we feel angry. It is okay to have that feeling. It is not okay to act in a way that could hurt someone else. Acting out in anger can really hurt people and even hurt us, but God helps us calm our anger. So let's see how well we can handle a situation when we get angry. I want to show you something. On this balloon, I have written the word God. So I'm going to show you my balloon. Maybe, Josh, they see the word? We have these coolest cameras now. It's so cool. Look at that. Awesome. So we can see God right there, right? So we're going to see what happens when we fill up this balloon, like filling us up with anger. So I would like you to put in the chat something that has made you angry. Now, don't say a person's name. You could just say a time that someone did something. Don't say someone's name. But what are some things that have made you angry? And maybe it's not people. Maybe it's just a circumstance, a situation. Put that in the chat, and each time I read one of those things, I'm going to blow up our balloon. And we're going to see what happens to this word that's written on here. So something that has made you angry. You know what's made me angry? It's made me angry when I've heard someone picking on another person. Let's see. Oh, classmates saying rude things on Zoom learning. Luke says a time that their dog yanked him around the backyard. Oh, when someone pushed me in the stomach and kicked me in the stomach because he lost a game and I won. Oh, that's horrible. Mrs. Cross says illnesses. Ben said someone broke his toy. Fiona's dog stealing her toys. Quinn says when a toy has been broken. When no one wants to play what I want to play. When someone's been hit. When cable isn't working in your bedroom, Paris. When you've gotten a sucker punch. And a time that someone won't stop talking. Oh, and when your older brother has tackled you. I'm going to stop there because our balloon is full. Wait a minute. Look. We can barely see the word. If you look really closely, it's right here. But you can barely see that word God. Whoa. So, anger can hurt your relationship with God. It's like it was hard for us to connect with God when we were angry and the word disappeared. The more this balloon filled up with anger or angry situations, the lighter the word God got on the balloon. And this can happen in our life too. The more we hold on to anger, the more distant God feels. And our anger can hurt ourselves, our relationships with God, and our relationships with other people. That's why God wants us to let go of our anger with his help. God helps us to calm our anger. And I want to read what Jesus said about that in his Sermon on the Mount. So I'm just going to switch hands with my balloon. I still am going to keep it blown up for a bit. And now I'm going to read Matthew 5:23 and 24. So if you are presenting a gift at the altar of the temple, and you suddenly remember that someone has something against you, that means you remember that someone's upset with you. Leave your gift there at the altar. Go and be reconciled to that person. That's like go and say you're sorry, work out the situation. Then come and offer your gift to God. So, since God helps us to calm our anger, let's think of ways that he can help us to calm down. What are some things that help you calm down when you're angry? Can you put that in the chat? And every time somebody tells me something that helps them to calm down, I'm going to let a little bit of this anger, this air out of our balloon. And we're going to see how the letters G-O-D begin to show up. Your bed calms you down. Piper says cuddling with mom. Playing video games, so taking your mind off of it. Eli says reading. Fresh air. Ooh, Becky, that's a good one. Gavin says his iPad. Fiona says taking a nap. Sometimes it does help, Fiona. Sometimes we're a little tired and things seem worse than they really are. I understand that one completely. Becca says rest alone for a minute. Hiking. Anna says being hugged, and Luke says talking with mom. Deep breathing and counting to 10. Haley says alone time. Are you starting to see those letters come back a little bit? Noah and Ben say books. I'm thinking about maybe praying. Alyssa says snuggling blankie and stuffed animals. Yeah. Oh, Paris likes to talk to his staff, Carrie or Terry. Talking with somebody is very helpful. I'm thinking maybe we could even read our Bible. Maybe we could think about our Sunday school lesson today. Hey, look, that word appeared again. Oh, Quinn also says her essential oils calm her. Yeah, there are some calming ones. Isn't that cool? Now, when all that air is gone, Oh, birthdays. All that anger's gone, we can be close to God again. Our relationship with him has come back. It's fixed. It's back to the way it was before. That is a cool thing. Our relationship with God can always be fixed as long as we ask for that forgiveness. Yeah, we can see God, can't we, Lombardos? That's so awesome. You could try this at home. If you have a balloon at home, write on it first. Not after you blow it up. Write on it first, blow it up, and then let the air back out. It's so cool. That's one thing I wished we could have done together today, but I didn't know how many of you had balloons. So cool, though. Well, God helps us to calm our anger. With our crumpled paper, we saw how angry words are a really big deal to God because we can never really take them back from the way we hurt a person. And when we had our balloon, we saw that when we're filled up with anger, it's harder for us to see God. But the cool thing is, our relationship with God can be back to the way it was as soon as we let that anger out and ask for forgiveness. That's a difference between people and God. We can always be forgiven by him, always. And it's wonderful if we can forgive others too as a person. So be thinking about that as well. We know that not saying angry words and being peaceful can be difficult, but that's why we explored different ways that we can calm down and that God can help us. So we're going to close with a prayer asking for God's help in times of anger. So you may want to fold your hands, you might want to bow your head or close your eyes, and I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. Here we go. God, help us calm our anger. When we want to say angry words or do angry things, help us make peace instead. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, before I go, let's talk about something else in your box. So far, Mrs. Cross has mentioned the Advent chain that you could make. If you didn't do this yet, you really should. It's so cool. There are papers in here that you can cut apart, make into a chain so you can count down to Christmas. And there's a verse on every link. So each day as you take a link off, you can look up something in your Bible as a family. So that's something that we've talked about. I also talked about our candle last week. Remember when we talked about being the light of the world or to the world? And then we also said this would be great for maybe when you're reading one of those verses on your chain, or if you're thinking about Advent, because Advent wreaths have candles, and we talked about how that started last week during our sermon. There's some other great things in here too. Let's talk this week. Just a minute, it's on the bottom. Let's talk about this. We have a coloring sheet, and it's really, at first I thought, oh my goodness, there's so many little places to color in. Well, you could color each of these spots separately, or you could color like this whole middle section yellow, and then the border around it green. And there's words all over it that have to do with not being afraid. Turning our thoughts to God, just like we can do when we're angry. And it talks about all different times that we've been told not to be afraid and why, because of God. So I hope you're enjoying your box. We're going to keep exploring it each week. By now, it's not really a secret what's inside, but, I cannot wait to be back with you next week. We're going to have another great lesson, so much fun. Thank you so much. Oh, someone already colored their coloring page, one of the Lombardos. Yay, I'm glad you had fun with that. Maybe you even hung it up. Maybe you can mail it to someone or give it to someone. Haley did. Haley, that does not surprise me. That's awesome. I look so forward to seeing you next week. This makes me so happy. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.